Hello, it's Tim Ferguson here with another mental model to elevate your communication. So this is 4 communication styles. And it's very helpful to be able to identify for yourself, hey, what's my style? And then what are the styles of the people that I need to communicate with effectively? It works as a 4-quadrant chart. So on our vertical axis, at one end we have controlled and the other spontaneous. And this is how we like to structure our communication. The horizontal axis, we go from direct to indirect. And this is basically how quickly we want to make the point, get to the main point to move on to the next. And you put these quadrants together and you get our 4 styles. The person who is direct but spontaneous, we call an explorer. So think of someone who knows exactly where they want to go, but is very flexible in how to get there. Spontaneous and indirect, we call the counselor. Someone who, you know what, I'm not exactly sure where we're going, and I don't really care how long it takes to get there. If you think about the indirect and the controlled, this is someone who is happy to have a very open-ended, maybe literally centuries-long discussion, but wants it to adhere to a very clear structure. Controlled and direct, hey, imagine that. Bam, short communication, crisp, clean, and then we very quickly move on to the next point. Now, each of these styles has its benefits and its drawbacks. There's no judgment on any of the 4. As I describe each briefly, I want you to map yourself. And you can think of extremes. So you could be highly controlled or highly spontaneous or less controlled or less spontaneous. So you judge where you are on the map. So start with explorer. Think of an explorer, someone who wants to, like, let's say, just go to the South Pole. That's our goal. We're going to get to the South Pole. Very firm and committed to the end point. But they're spontaneous in the nature of their communication. So obstacles, anything that gets in their way, they're going to be very inventive and find their way around it. Also tend to be very visual in their language, painting the picture of how beautiful it's going to be, and the air will be so clear, and we'll see amazing things, really have this way of bringing a vivid language to life. And are great at recruiting, great at getting people on board. Think about an explorer. They can't do it alone. They need a team to follow them. So this is the nature of the explorer. Spontaneous and indirect, this is the counselor, the people person, someone who loves to establish rapport and form bonds of trust. This is their ultimate goal. They really want to get to know someone. They love discussions that are indirect in the sense that, you know what, we're in no hurry to get to the point. Maybe we don't even know what the point is. It's the journey that matters. And spontaneous, hey, we can talk about anything, whatever you want to talk about. Very question-oriented, love to ask other people the questions. The indirect but controlled, we call the scientist because, hey, we're seeking truth. We're seeking facts. We want to know, we want evidence in the end. Highly value the inputs. So what is the data? What exactly are the key facts that we're working with? What's the methodology? What's the process for the discussion? They want to make sure that that's absolutely sound. And then we don't jump, we don't skip. So we're indirect, it could go a very long time, but it's controlled. So it's gated. And some of these discussions, they literally go on through generations, right? Think about the way scientists communicate. They're happy to say, well, we've been working on this problem for 200 years. So for the bond trader, the controlled and direct person, 200 years is not going to cut it. In fact, 20 minutes, in fact, 2 minutes, in fact, 10 seconds is not going to cut it. They want it as short and crisp as possible. The bond traders are great negotiators, can really walk away from a negotiation, offer, counter, like 1 or 2 back and forths, and then they make the decision, they move on, and they can sleep on that. They can sleep at night, no problem. The bottom line, people. So, where did you put yourself? Where are you on the map? You want to be clear about that. Just to give an illustration, I am very high on spontaneous and very high on indirect. So I'm way up there as a counselor. Then you want to map some of your key stakeholders. Where's your boss? Where are your direct reports? Where's your key customer? And it might explain a lot about your communication challenges and opportunities with that person. It's also important to realize that all of us have the potential to play any of the 4 roles with enough discipline and practice and rehearsal. I hope you find the 4 communication styles useful, and I look forward to seeing you at our next mental model video.